The sirens were already screaming when she yelled, "Shut it down now!" and pointed at my dam like she owned the river. I didn't even get time to speak. Her phone was in my face, live streaming, calling me a thief, saying I was stealing community water because of unpaid HOA fees. I stayed quiet while the water behind me pushed harder, the wooden gates shaking like they were warning everyone. She slapped a bright red notice on my chest and said, "You have 1 hour to destroy this dam, or we call federal authorities." People gathered, whispering, filming, some laughing like this was free entertainment. Then she leaned closer and whispered so only I could hear, "You immigrants always think rules don't apply to you." I looked past her. At the pressure gauge climbing into the red, I said calmly, "If I touch this dam, your whole neighborhood goes underwater." She laughed loud and said the line everyone would replay later, "Do it. You don't scare me." That's when the first crack echoed through the valley, and her smile slowly disappeared. The crack got louder, like something huge waking up. Water started leaking through the side, thin at first, then fast. I stepped back and said, "This dam isn't mine to destroy." She snapped her fingers at 2 men standing near her. They were wearing dark jackets with badges that looked real for half a second. "You heard him," she said. "Arrest him for refusing an HOA order." One of them grabbed my arm. My son ran out from the house shouting, "Dad!" And that's when my calm almost broke. Karen smiled, enjoying it. "Tow his truck too," she added. "And lock this place." My truck was pulled away right in front of us while the water kept rising. People were still filming, but now their faces were nervous. Then the man holding my arm whispered, "This is going too far." Karen didn't hear him. She was too busy yelling at the crowd, saying, "This is what happens when you don't pay fees." I slowly reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone and said, "Before you touch me again, you should know this call is already live." In the distance, a deep roar rolled through the valley. Not sirens this time, but water breaking free. The roar hit like thunder. People turned as a wall of water burst through the trees downstream. Someone screamed, "It's flooding!" Karen froze for 1 second, then pointed at me again. "This is his fault. He sabotaged it." One of the fake cops let go of my arm and stepped back. "Ma'am, this isn't right," he said, but she cut him off. "You work for the HOA, remember?" I raised my phone so everyone could see the screen. "Funny thing," I said, breathing slow. "This dam was built before your HOA even existed." Her face tightened. "Liar." I tapped the screen and pulled up old county maps. Dates stamped clear as day. The crowd leaned in. The water kept rushing past us, faster now, heading straight toward her precious neighborhood. Then I said the line that changed everything. "I don't control this dam. The Army Corps of Engineers does." The fake badge dropped to the ground. Far away, real sirens started again, but this time they were coming for her. Karen stepped back like the ground moved under her. "That's impossible," she said, but her voice shook. One of the men picked up the fallen badge and quietly slipped it into his pocket. "I'm out," he muttered and walked away. The crowd started buzzing, phones higher now. I kept talking, slow and clear. "I warned the county last month." "They told me not to touch anything," Karen snapped. "He's lying to save himself." Then a sheriff SUV skidded to a stop near the road. A real deputy stepped out and looked straight at the water racing past us. "Who ordered work on this structure?" he asked. Karen rushed forward. "I did, HOA authority," she said proudly. The deputy didn't even look at her badge. He looked at me instead. "Sir, did you tell anyone not to interfere?" I nodded. "Yes, I also recorded everything." Karen's eyes went wide. She lunged for my phone, shouting, "Turn that off!" The deputy grabbed her wrist mid-air and said quietly, "Ma'am, you just made this worse." Behind us, another crack split the air and someone yelled, "The first houses are flooding!" Karen started screaming that it was all a setup, that I planned this to destroy the neighborhood. The deputy cuffed her while she kept yelling, "He didn't pay his fees! He's illegal here!" That word hit the crowd hard. Phones zoomed in. I spoke without raising my voice. "I own this land, paid in full, before the HOA, before her rules." The deputy asked for proof. I didn't rush. I opened a folder on my phone and handed it over. Deeds, permits, emails from the county, all time-stamped. The deputy's face changed. This property isn't under HOA control, he said loud enough for everyone to hear. Karen went quiet for the first time. Then a firefighter ran over, breathless. Sheriff, we've got major flooding. 3 streets underwater. Evacuations started. Karen dropped to her knees, crying now. My house is there. I looked at the water moving fast and said softly, I told you an hour ago. The deputy turned to her and said, You ignored a federal structure warning. Her crying stopped, replaced by fear. She tried to stand, but the cuffs pulled her back down. You can't do this to me, she said, voice breaking. Eyes locked on the road where water was now flowing like a river. The firefighter's radio kept crackling. Street names, house numbers, panic. One of them said, The HOA office is flooded. Files are gone. That's when the deputy looked at me again. Sir, what's your role here? I took a breath. Retired Army engineer. I helped inspect this dam years ago. That's why the county listens when I call. The crowd went silent. Karen stared at me like she was seeing a stranger for the first time. You let this happen, she whispered. I shook my head. You forced it. Another deputy walked up holding a tablet. We pulled her call logs, he said. She ordered fake enforcement, impersonation, false. Report? Karen started shaking. Then someone in the crowd said the line that spread everywhere later. She tried to drown her own. Neighborhood! Karen screamed again as they lifted her to her feet. Behind her, helicopters circled low, and the water kept moving, unstoppable now. They walked her toward the cruiser while she kept looking back at the water, like she could stop it by staring. A news van rolled in, then another. Red lights flashed everywhere. A reporter shoved a mic toward me and asked, Did you destroy the dam? I looked straight at the camera and said, No, I refuse to break the law. That clip went viral in minutes. Then the deputy came back, serious now. We just confirmed something else, he said. The HOA insurance doesn't cover flood. Damage caused by illegal orders. Karen heard that and collapsed against the car. That neighborhood. It's finished, she whispered. One of the evacuees shouted at her, You did this! Another yelled, You ruined us! I didn't smile. I just watched the water move through the valley like it was claiming the truth. Then my phone buzzed. A message from the county. Federal investigators are on the way. I looked at the deputy and said quietly, This isn't over. He nodded and replied, For you, it is. For her, it's just starting. End the story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing HOA stories.